Welcome to the Grand Canyon. We're going to be spending the next 3 nights in this area, so come along as we explore the South Rim, the North Rim, Antelope Canyon, and Horseshoe Bend. Stay tuned to the end and we'll share with you all of our expenses.
So if you've been following along with us, you probably wonder how we got here. Well, yesterday we left Puerto Penasco, stopped at the Aduana, canceled our temporary import permit for the Jeep, and we crossed the border.
Yep, we drove to Phoenix, where we stopped at the Bureau of Land Management to pick up a lifetime Veterans America the Beautiful Pass, which, thanks to David's service in the Navy, gives us free entrance to all of the national parks for life. So very cool today. That saved us $35 as we entered the park. We only had to wait in line for like 3 or 4 minutes. It was really fast. It was like 11 o'clock on a Friday, so not bad at all. The weather is gorgeous and wow, the views are spectacular. I'm super excited to be here.
So our first order of business was to drop our bags at the Tovar Hotel, which is where we're going to be staying tonight and also dining tonight.
And now we are currently walking the Rim Trail. So we started at Tovar Hotel and we're going to walk it all the way to Hermit's Rest and then take the little tram back to the hotel, hopefully in time to check in and have dinner.
After leaving the Tovar Hotel on a nice flat paved path, we passed the Bright Angel Trailhead marker and continued on to our first viewpoint, the Trail View Overlook. From here you can see the Bright Angel Trail descending down into the canyon. So the cool things about this trail is that there are a lot of viewpoints, and a lot of the viewpoints have tram stops, so you can get on and off right there. And the trail itself isn't that busy. And also, so if you're tired at these tram stops, you can get back on and head back to where you came from.
Yeah, it's nice when you can just quit walking. It is a bit sunny, so I would suggest either a hat or some sunscreen, and then pack some hydration. We brought a little part of Mexico with us, so we have our electrolytes for the hike.
From the Trail View Overlook, it's an additional 0.7 miles scenic walk to the Maricopa Point, which gives you another spectacular view into the canyon. Just a half mile further down the trail is Powell Point, which we thought was one of the best viewpoints on the South Rim. The trail continues another 0.3 miles to Hopi Point, but here the trail changes from paved to gravel. From Hopi Point, we continued hiking another mile to Mojave Point. Here the trail gets very close to the edge of the canyon, and you can get a thrilling view down to the bottom by peering over the edge. We made it to Mojave Point from El Tovar Hotel, and it's taken us about 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we definitely have stopped at almost every overlook along the way, though, and taken tons of pictures and videos, so you can definitely do it a lot quicker.
From Mojave Point, we continued an additional 1.1 miles to the Abyss, which is definitely not the overlook for you if you have a fear of heights. After the Abyss, the next viewpoint is Monument Creek, which is another mile down the path. So now we've made it to the Monument Creek viewpoint.
And I think we're going to cheat now. The next viewpoint is 2.9 kilometers away, and it's getting kind of late in the day. We haven't eaten all day, and we have a 5 o'clock dinner reservation, so we absolutely cannot miss it. And we do still need to actually get checked in at the hotel and maybe cleaned up just a little bit before dinner. So we are going to take the bus to the next stop, which I think is Pima Point, and then we're going to take a look at that viewpoint, get on the bus again, and finish it up at Hermit's Rest before getting back on the tram to go all the way back. How long have we been hiking total now?
Let me look. 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it feels like it. I'm starting to get pretty tired. That is the nice thing, though, is that you can just stop and get on the tram whenever you've had enough.
We made it to Hermit's Rest, which is the last stop on the line.
And we have rewarded ourselves with $4 waters. We were thirsty, and honestly, they're very cold, so I can't complain too much about the price. But now we're going to hop back on the tram and go back to the hotel to get cleaned up for dinner.
Dinner at El Tovar was amazing, and everything we ordered was delicious.
Yeah, everything was fantastic. Service was phenomenal. And the best part of all, though, was just as we were finishing up our entrees, an elk just showed up out of nowhere and started like eating the landscaping in front of the restaurant. So we have come outside to see it up close and personal. Well, after appreciating some of the beautiful sunset colors in the canyon, we're going to go ahead and give you a little tour of our hotel.
The El Tovar Hotel was built in 1905 and is now a member of the Historic Hotels of America. The lobby has a rustic hunting lodge feel. As we mentioned earlier, they have a gourmet restaurant on property, and reservations are definitely required.
So our room is 6460, and you can see we have 2 nightstands, lamps, a comfy looking bed, a couple windows, nice big TV, and there is a mini fridge. And then we have some closet space here, and we have a really beautiful bathroom. You see they have nice tile floor, tub with shower, little toilet over there, and sink. The only sad thing is that's the view. We just can kind of see the roof.
So last night we finished up the evening in the cocktail lounge. We had Manhattan and a couple of old fashions, all pretty solid. We got a good night's sleep, and this morning we stopped in and got breakfast.
Now, we normally are not breakfast people, but after hiking all day yesterday on an empty stomach, that's just not something we wanted to repeat today. So we are getting ready to go back to our room and get packed up. We're going to head to the visitor center here on the South Rim, check that out, and then I think we're headed to the watchtower.
From the visitor center, we made a 5-minute walk to Mather's Point.
I would definitely suggest doing this if you're limited on time, because it is so close to the visitor center and you can park there. Also, there's another viewpoint that's right behind us and would be a very quick walk. The downside to it is extremely busy. There are tons of people here because it is so quick and easy to get to.
So now we're driving along Desert View Drive.
And we're stopping at a bunch of viewpoints along the way. This one is called Duck on a Rock. Maybe you can tell why. Now we've made it to Grand Viewpoint, which is just about 5 minutes down the road.
Another 7 minutes down the road, and now we're at Moran Point.
So now we've made a stop at Navajo Point.
So we made it to the Desert View Watchtower, which is our last stop before heading to the North Rim.
Dave and I discussed it in the car, and we think that if you want to go on a hike, the Rim Trail is great. But if you're just going to be using it to get on and off of that tram bus at all the different viewpoints, I think that this Desert View Road is better because you can drive right up to them yourself, and then you're not having to wait 10 or 15 minutes for the next shuttle bus to pick you up. Also, I think that the views from these viewpoints has been more diverse than the views that we saw yesterday on the hike. So again, you can't really hike this path. It's a driving thing, but if you're just going to use the Rim Trail for the tram bus, I would skip it and do this instead.
On our way to the North Rim, we stopped at the Colorado River Overlook.
Apparently, normally you have to pay a fee to get in here, but the fee booth was closed and they just waved us on through.
All right, so we made it to the North Rim. We ate breakfast this morning around 8, and then we left the South Rim Visitor Center around 9:30, and it's now about 2:30.
Yeah, so the ride is long, but we did, of course, stop at a lot of different viewpoints along the way. We didn't stop to get anything to eat or anything, so just know it is a long ride, but it is a gorgeous ride. I think the Vermilion Cliffs were my favorite part. It was so awesome. And then just as we came in the main entrance here, we saw a gigantic herd of bison, which I was so excited. I didn't even know you could see them here. So I've never seen them in the wild. I've seen them in a zoo, but I was just,
really cool.
Yeah, I was just beyond thrilled. So now, like I said, we've made it to the North Rim, so we're gonna check out some of the viewpoints.
Let's just walk through the Grand Canyon Lodge to check out a couple of the viewpoints.
And the first one here is Bright Angel Viewpoint, and it is amazing. I have to say, I think the views on this side are a lot better than the South Rim. Well, unfortunately, it started to torrentially downpour, but lucky for us, there is a saloon here.
As the rain cleared up, we decided to come down Cape Royal Road to check out the viewpoints, and our first one is Imperial Point.
And one of the benefits to that rain is that there is a gorgeous rainbow here. Very awesome. Another thing is that it's quite cool on this side, and I don't think it's just because of the rain. It is about 55 degrees on this side. When we left this morning South Rim, I think the high was supposed to be 86. It was like already 83. The elevation on this side is about 2,000 feet higher than it is on the South Rim. And because of that, they actually close this side of the park on October 15th. So we're lucky that it's like the middle of September, so it's still open to explore. But that's just something to keep in mind if you do want to do both rims, is that you can't come during the winter.
Now we're at our second viewpoint, Vista Encantada, and I have to say that I think the North Rim is better than the South Rim.
Yeah, honestly, if I had to do it all over again, I would completely change things. I would have yesterday just gone straight to the visitor center on the South Rim, and then gone and done the drive that we did this morning down that Desert View Road, doing all those stops, and drive through those beautiful cliffs that we saw. And then I just would have checked into the Grand Canyon Lodge here on the North Rim, and then the second day, I would have come down this Cape Royal Road and done all the viewpoints and done all the hikes that are on this side, because there's so like few people, and I think I would have enjoyed hiking this side so much more.
So we made it to the next viewpoint, Roosevelt Point.
There's a little path on the side to this one that you have to come down to get the best views, because that is one thing, this side of the rim is not as, like, I don't know, tourist friendly, I guess. The paths aren't paved. There's a lot of trees like in the way of views. Where on the South Rib, they've cut down all the trees, they've paved all the pathways, so it is a little bit easier, but here it is definitely more ruggedly beautiful.
So we're almost to the final viewpoint, which is Cape Royal.
But we had to pull over to the side of the road because right here you can see Angel's Window, which I didn't know what that meant, but now that I can see it, it is super cool.
So we finally made it to the end of the line, Cape Royal viewpoint.
I really wish that we had dedicated more time to the North Rim as opposed to the South Rim, but right now it's like 5:30 and we still have a 3-hour drive to get to our Airbnb in Page. So we're gonna get on the road and we'll see you guys in the morning.
Today is day 3 of our Arizona adventure, and our first stop is Horseshoe Bend.
We didn't get up super early today. This is the first day in a while that we haven't got up super early because I heard it's best to come like late morning through early afternoon to avoid like a lot of shadows in the bend. We did have to pay $10 to get in. It's per car, so even if you have a ton of people in your car, it's only $10. The National Parks Pass does not work here. So we are getting ready to start the hike out to the viewpoint.
So I've seen pictures of this place and videos. None of that ever does it justice. I mean, this is so beautiful and huge.
It is absolutely gigantic. I don't know, I guess because pictures just put it in this little square and there usually aren't people like down for scale. It is so impressive. Absolutely love it. The other thing is, even though there are a ton of people here, if you just go, I don't know, like 100, 200 meters to the side, you have a whole space all to yourself to enjoy the view.
Our second adventure of the day is a tour of Antelope Canyon, and we chose Dixie's Lower as our tour. You can't do it on your own, so you have to have a tour guide.
Yeah, you can do Upper Canyon, you can do Lower Canyon, or you can do Canyon X. We chose Lower. Our tour starts at 12:45. You have to show up 45 minutes early. We did hear that it's best to do it midday again, so there's not a bunch of shadows in the canyon. I am super excited for this one. The pictures look absolutely amazing, but we were told that you can't have a bag and you can't have a tripod. So this is the last you'll hear from us until after our tour.
Just finished up at Antelope Canyon, and unfortunately they don't allow any recording of video in the canyon, and GoPros are prohibited.
Yeah, so I was, though, able to take so many amazing photos. It's going to take me quite a while to go through them all. I don't know if you remember, but there was a Windows screensaver that's actually Antelope Canyon, and we were able to feel like we were walking through that screensaver. We've done some things where, you know, we've seen other people's YouTube videos or we've seen other people's photos, and you can tell things were edited or cut in a certain way. This was not. We're going to go ahead and start putting some of those photos on screen now so you can see I did not like touch up the color on any of these. This is actually what we saw as we walked through the canyon. It was amazing. Our guide even took a couple of photos for us so that way we wouldn't miss certain views of the canyon. And then we took pictures of each other, different, people that were doing the tour with us. And that is one thing to keep in mind if you decide to do this, is that they have groups of about 10 to 15 people going through like every 15 minutes. So it isn't a serene experience where you're wandering through on your own. You are, grouped up pretty tightly, but it was so amazing. It really did feel like you were just like walking through a video. It was surreal.
Just finished our delicious lunch at Birdhouse.
We ordered a bit too much food, though. We weren't able to finish it. I had no idea the orders of fries were going to be so huge. We got 4 drums, 4 thighs, and then 2 orders of fries. I think we could have skipped the fries altogether. They weren't anywhere near as good as the chicken, but the chicken was fantastic. They had 2 homemade sauces there. Highly recommend this place if you're in Page. But next, I think we're going to go check out a viewpoint.
We just entered Glen Canyon National Park, and I was able to use my military America the Beautiful pass again.
Yep, that saved us $30 on the entrance fee. But behind us now is Lake Powell, and we're going to drive around and check out a few viewpoints.
So now we've made it to Navajo Mountain Viewpoint.
And I think we are going to call it a day here. We're going to head back to the Airbnb, relax a little bit, and make some dinner reservations because tomorrow we are driving all the way to Vegas.
Woo!
So this was our Airbnb in Page, Arizona for the last 2 nights. You can see we're on the 2nd floor here. Come in the apartment. You can see we have a nice big TV, some nice recliner couches. Through here, we have a nice big kitchen. First bedroom here, 2 nightstands. We got some closet space there, and then it has an ensuite bathroom, shower, toilet, sink. This is a Jack and Jill bathroom, so you can see here we got sink, toilet, shower, and then you come through here, and this was the bedroom we slept in. You can see we've got a closet over there, nightstands, big king size bed, and then we had these awesome Speed Queen washer dryer set up. So that was great. We were able to do a little bit of laundry. We definitely enjoyed our stay here. And now for that cost breakdown. We spent $788 on accommodation. That was $490 for 1 night at El Tovar Hotel and $298 for 2 nights at that Airbnb in Page. We spent $135 on transportation. We spent $160 on entertainment. $150 of that was the tour at Dixie's Lower Canyon, and then $10 to get into Horseshoe Bend. We spent $228 at bars and on alcohol. We spent $462 at restaurants and just $43 on groceries. That brings the grand total to $1,816 or $605 per day. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, check out our video where we explore Barrancas del Cobre, Mexico's version of the Grand Canyon. Thank goodness that was a lot cheaper.